Hey, what's up guys? Steel City Dashcam here. I just want to really quickly go over a brief review of the camera that I am currently using in this car, the Nezini 1080p Dashcam. I currently own two of these. I had one that used to live in my Pilot. Because that Pilot is not running, it currently functions as a spare for this vehicle, which I'll get into the one time I really use it in a minute. And then I have one that I've had in this car since I purchased it in May. The other one I purchased in April. They've both been going strong in terms of functionality. Overall, for starters, I'm going to start this video by going through my experience with it, because that's what I think is the most important for when you're looking to buy a dash cam. And I'm going to try to make this quick as well, but afterwards I will have video just doing a little walkthrough of the layout of stuff. I'm going to have a little demonstration clip of nighttime driving, just to get into it a little bit. Overall, the things I like is the interface is really nice and clean. It works really well. The settings are very straightforward and everything works exactly how you think it will. Has the nice feature for taking pictures where you just wave your hand in front of the screen of the camera. And then it has the emergency recording, which I don't personally ever need to use because my SD card never fills up because I empty it way before it does. But it's nice to know that that feature is there and that, from what I've experienced, it is functional by accidentally setting it off. So that's the reason I know. And beyond that, it fires. I don't want to say it fires up every single time. I have one issue on occasion, which I'll get into in a minute. But sticking with the pros for the moment, it's very easy to get a nice clean cable run for this car. I did not hardwire it. I ran it, I did neat cables, but it's run in the car. You can see the cables because it's good enough for me. And it works perfectly for that. I can attest to how easy or tricky it is to hardwire this. This also does not come with a back camera and cannot be compatible with a back camera, so that is something to keep in mind. That's not a pro or a con, that's just a feature. I use 64 gigabyte SD card, micro SD cards, and it works perfectly. I can record for about 9 hours that way with full HD 1080p settings. The audio quality I think is really good overall. The only complaint I have, not even a complaint, it's the only thing that I notice is different is the frequency range of audio is a little bit lower, so you don't get as much low end and you don't get as much super high end, which is nice for filtering out some of those weird noises, rattles, rumbles when you have bass playing in your car. But it makes it sound a little bit different, and it can throw you off if you're comparing it to another camera. And the video picture is great day and night. It made even my Pilot's super dim headlights look bright and look like everything is lit up nicely. You can see really well. You can see license plates from at least the same distance I could in my car. I could probably read the plates on all three cars in front of me. And I don't even know that I can do that right now while driving. Overall functionality, I have zero real complaints. The only two cons I've noticed is the battery life kind of sucks to the point where cold weather, it can have issues powering up, which this is where my spare comes in. I have one that I keep fully charged at home right now, and on super cold nights, I'll take this one inside and put that one here, because then that way it actually has the juice to last through the night. So if someone hits the car, I have the footage. And then I just swap it back and I have no other issues. The other issue is I have to manually stop the recording before I unplug it, because it likes to reboot itself when it turns off now. This is a new issue I've noticed. And when it does that, it won't always save that last bit of the recording. So I opt for it to not do that by just ending the recording manually. And honestly, those are the only cons I really have. Overall, I really enjoy this dash cam. And I would definitely recommend it as a good sub $50 alternative to some of the big names. And that being said, in a moment you will see footage from recording the actual screen and showing you the actual functionality of the camera from inside the house. And I'll also include a nighttime clip just so you can get an idea of what that's like. As far as the bass, I was going to test something out. I really don't feel it's necessary. The audio quality sounds pretty true to real life. The bass doesn't have any rumbling like I sometimes get in my other footage with my old cameras. So overall, I would say I'm not one to give a rating. This is give it in this price range. This is easily a 10 out of 10. Overall, I give it about a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. It functions really well, but it has issues that you can adapt and figure them out, but it still is an issue. So that being said, I'm going to jump over to recording the actual camera and showing you a bit of the functionality as well as some demonstrations. So stay tuned for that momentarily.
Alright, so as you can see, the camera quality is actually pretty good. It's pretty true to what's actually there. Aside from, obviously it's a wide angle. So let me just run through real quick. You can turn that beeping off. I personally do not. But, you can set the loop recording or have it off. I personally set it to 10 minutes so that every 10 minutes it creates a new clip. And that makes it so that I've had glitches in the past where it won't record past a certain amount of time, and that sort of prevents that. You can set the date and time. This one's off because I factory reset this one. Don't ask me why. It was giving me some issues, and I factory reset it, and it worked. So that would be that. It has the motion detection, record audio. I'm going to turn off the beeping for the purpose of this, so that way it's a little less annoying. You can set it so that it'll basically keep running off of power for a certain amount of time after you turn it off. That's pretty much the bulk of it. This is mostly the standard settings. Whoops, it is... Okay, let me actually delete this while I'm here. May as well. So it is pretty straightforward to use. As you can tell, I'm kind of doing this right off the bat. Of course, now it won't, there it goes. Haven't tried to do that, so I didn't know what button would actually send it back to the main screen. Easy enough to mute and unmute. When you go through these other pages, so I guess I only actually went through the first 2 pages, so that's my bad. But this is where you could set, like, parking monitor, light capture, all that kind of stuff. It's where you format, reset to defaults, all that fun stuff. Basically, all the settings are in one menu on this, which is a little bit different than some other ones I've used. Push this guy right in the middle. It'll do an emergency record, like if you're already recording, as I now am. If I push this button, you'll see that little orange light pop up. That's basically saying it's going to save this as an emergency recording until I stop it. At the same time, you won't hear it beep, but if I wave my hand in front of it, oh, it did beep. You can see that little picture icon. That's how you take a picture. So when this is mounted up on your car, you just wave and boom, takes a picture if you really need it to, for license plates or for whatever else you may need. Yeah, there really isn't much to it. I really like how simple this is, how nice it works. It's designed sort of like the sort of like a lot of the big name dash cams you see, like ROAV and Nexar and all that kind of stuff. Mine mounts with a little plastic tray that slides in here and is 3M adhesive to my window, so this one does not have a suction cup. And I got it that way because I intended to leave this one in this car all the time. It makes it easy to just slide this part out and then leave the base in there. If you do what you do like with my other camera that I'm going to do a separate review on, where you take it in and out of vehicles a lot and the suction cup is better, this might not be the camera for you. This one also does not support a rear camera. I do not remember if I mentioned that when I recorded the first part of this video, but I'm going to mention it now just in case. The other big thing, let me see if this is going to do this the way I think it will. When you unplug it, it immediately powers off as it gets older. I think that's just the battery doesn't like sticking around thing to keep it running. Okay, that turned off the power on noise, which is part of why I actually leave it on. And the other big selling factor for me for a cheap camera, this thing was under $40. The big thing is that the camera is very adjustable. You can swivel it, depending on where you have to put it on your window. And then obviously you can adjust the angle depending on what vehicle you're in. And I really like it personally. This is not the factory cable that comes with it. I have this so that I can have it plugged in the house. But the factory cable that I have works great. I haven't had any real issues with it. Can get a little finicky depending on what you plug it into, but I think that's the port more than that is the cable. yeah, that's pretty much it. The built-in audio I think is personally really good, and it gives you the ability to have an AV in. It gives you, there's room to work with this thing, and there's a lot of customization to sort of set it the way you want it to be. That being said, overall, I give this a big thumbs up. That was not on camera. Big thumbs up. And right after this, I'm just going to feature a quick little clip showing driving during the day, maybe driving in inclement weather, mostly rain, and driving in nighttime conditions in my Mazda. So I don't believe I'm going to have anything else to say beyond that. So check out those clips to just double check that this is something you really want, and to confirm that the audio and the video quality are up to what you want for what you might need. And hopefully this review is helpful to you, and hopefully it sort of steers you in the right direction, whether it's this camera or not. I'm not paid to promote anything. I'm just giving my honest review based off what I use. So that being said, thanks for checking this out. Hopefully this helps sway your decision in some way or another, and I will see you guys in the next video.